my first day here in Antigua. I have two goals today. Number one is to get my laundry done, which will be done around 5 o'clock tonight. Number two is to find a haircut. I definitely need a haircut, so that's my goal right now. Clothes. I got a nice fresh haircut. It only cost me about $6 US, including tip. Here's a look at my first accommodation here in Antigua. It's called Selena. It's a chain hostel, so you'll see it all around the world. Pretty cool.
It can be crazy, it can be nice. So we're supposed to be at the dry season or in the middle of the summertime. But weather conditions just get crazy. Be prepared for cold, especially for cold and rain. If you have a down jacket, take your down jacket, please. Thermal fleece if you have, take it. Leggings, take it with you. Long pants, take it with you. Please don't push yourself. If you feel dizzy, if you feel sick, at the beginner, try to grab your pace. We're gonna try to put a good pace for everyone. Where we start is 2,250 meters elevation, so that's gonna be the temperature about 17. The summit during the year can be frost, so that's why I say be prepared for 0 degrees.
Alright, it's about 6:30 a.m. here in Antigua, Guatemala. And today I'll be hiking one of the largest volcanoes in Central America, which is Volcan ACATENANGO. And I'll also be hiking Volcan Fuego, which is one of the most active volcanoes in Central America. So I'm doing it with an expedition company. It's called Ox Expeditions. So we'll be camping up in a tent. It is a very serious hike. It can be very cold up there. And altitude sickness could be a real issue as well. It's about 13,000 feet, so the elevation gain is pretty intense. So this peak right here is Volcan ACATENANGO. Then this volcano with the smoke coming out of it, that's Volcan Fuego. So we're gonna head up there. Alright, we've run into Harry and Jess up here. Harry's got a fresh dew. Alright, so we've gone from what they call the farmland to more of a dense tropical jungle. We still have a long way to go.
The alpinist is really well done. Yeah?
You have to see it. Like, he does like the highest peak in Chile, in Patagonia, with no rope.
Footage is insane. Oh, so it's free climbing. Yeah, but he does like mixed terrain. Wow.
My friends from England gave me some medicine for the altitude. As you can see, we're almost above the clouds. How we feeling, boys?
That's alright. Right. Which is basically where nitrogen gets in your blood. He couldn't equalise and then panicked and lost consciousness. Came back to consciousness on the water, shot to the surface like a torpedo.
But I have a 3, so
3?
yeah, it's like
I have a 6 and I feel like it's old.
Yeah. I didn't bring it.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Marc.
Marc,
Et
ça
toi,
c'est simple.
déjà?
Evan.
Evan.
Et toi?
Emily.
Ah, c'est simple. Enchanté, mes amis. Nous, c'est vous la maison du spaghetti au manteau blanc.
La maison, vous croyez ça, mon frère?
Ouais.
Non, je suis jamais allé. Est-ce que t'es allé où le petit caribou? Le caribou, c'est un bar.
C'est à Mont-Tremblant?
Ouais.
Au centre-ville?
Ouais.
Let's go.
Les gars?
Let's go.
Oh, c'est bon à tabarnak!
Alright, so we just made it to base camp here on ACATENANGO. Now some of us are going to continue for another 4 hours to Volcan Fuego. It's called the Knife Ridge. It's kind of what brought me to Guatemala, so very excited for this.
Hello, man.
Oh, good one.
My fingers
Good
are
job.
freezing.
So we just summited ACATENANGO this morning. It was absolutely incredible. Now we're back at base camp here. And now we just have to hike back to the base of the volcano and then head back to Antigua. Alright, we just finished the ACATENANGO hike. Now I think everyone's gonna go home, shower, then we're all gonna go out together. Great team. This is a team from Switzerland.
Oh, it was so lovely. It was so amazing.
He looks like Maluma.
Yeah, I am actually.
He is Maluma. Alright, ciao. Okay, I'm back in the city of Antigua for the next couple days. I think I'm just going to spend the day doing a walkthrough of the city, checking out some of the ruins, some old churches. Then later on this evening, I'm going to head up to one of the best well-known viewpoints here of Antigua. Let's do it. Alright, first and foremost, I'm going to head to my favorite breakfast place here in town. It's called Cafe Sky. So if you're ever in Antigua, I highly recommend it. It's got great food and a great view of all the volcanoes. Okay, so I ordered the sándwich de desayuno, the breakfast sandwich. It's about 64 quetzales, which is about $8.50, so pretty cheap. It comes with orange juice, coffee, bowl of fruit, and then some plantains as well. So all this for about $8.50 with some fresh pressed orange juice and some local Guatemalan Highlands coffee, and even a view of the volcanoes I've been hiking over the past couple days. So this is known as the Arca de Santa Catalina. It's the iconic image of Antigua. If you Google Antigua, this is the image you'll see. Like I said in the previous video, when I was a kid, this was one of the default wallpapers on my parents' desktop computer. And now I'm standing right next to it, so it's a pretty cool feeling. Okay, this place is called El Convento de Santa Clara, the Convent of Santa Clara. Some of the many ruins here in Antigua. Up until 1773, Antigua was the capital of Guatemala. After a massive earthquake, it has left the majority of the city in ruins. But they've kept a lot of these monasteries and churches still standing just to remember the old capital. Right, let's go see what's down here.
Wo ist deine Flasche?
Wo ist deine Flasche? Okay, got it. Wo ist deine Flasche? Wait. Oh, yes. No. Okay. Okay, so last night I left Guatemala. I took a 2:30 a.m. shuttle to El Salvador, which is where I am now. Beautiful Pacific coast of El Salvador. I'll be spending the next week here, just relaxing, enjoying the beaches. Completely different pace compared to Guatemala. I'd say Guatemala was definitely the best way possible to start this trip. I met so many cool people in Antigua and at Lake Atipan. Y'all really made my trip to Guatemala incredible, so thank you guys. If you're considering traveling to the places I travel to in Guatemala, it is extremely safe. There's nothing to worry about. The Guatemalan culture, the Mayan people are so welcoming, do anything to help you, and are extremely honest, so very trustworthy. My German friend Jonas left his credit card in the ATM machine and somebody ran after him to bring it back to him. It was also an instance when I accidentally paid with a $100 bill instead of a $10 bill, and they ran after me to make sure that I got my $100 bill back, so that says a lot about the Guatemalan people. But most importantly, a couple nights ago I lost my drone. I was flying it and it decided to make an emergency landing in the jungle. And me, my friends Melly, Jonas, and Jay all spent the evening looking for it until it was so dark we couldn't see anything. And then when I got back to my accommodation, I had a text message on WhatsApp from a man named Moises who had found my drone lying in some shrubbery in the forest. And he called me. He even posted on Facebook that somebody had lost a drone and he had found it. So he got in contact with me because my dad convinced me to write my phone number on the drone. And I met up with him the next morning, and yeah, I got my drone back. Works great, got all the footage back. So, special thank you to him. Moises, I love you, thank you so much for doing that. You really saved the day, and you deserve a big shout out for that, so thank you, Moises. Muchas gracias, amigo. And thank you, Giannis, Melly, and Jay for helping me search for it that night. And nice hanging out with you guys, I'll miss you guys. So that about wraps up the Guatemala portion of this trip. And I'll see you next week here in the beautiful country of El Salvador.